Representative Liz Cheney and Senator Rand Paul, Republican from Kentucky, are engaged in a Twitter feud, with Cheney claiming Paul's motto is terrorists first and Paul accusing the House Republican Conference chairwoman of warmongering. Both Republicans are arguing with each other over which one actually stands with and has the support of President Trump. Cheney resurfacing a 2015 tweet from Trump in which he called the libertarian-leaning senator and then GOP presidential rival a spoiled brat without a properly functioning brain. Tweeted that no truer words were ever spoken. Hi, at Rand Paul. I know the 2016 race was painful for you since you were such a big loser then and now with a dismal 4.5% in Iowa. No surprise since your motto seems to be terrorists first, America second, Cheney tweeted, referencing Paul's 2016 presidential bid. I mean, unless your name was Trump or Cruz, that pretty much everybody did terrible in that, but whatever. I bet if she ran, she wouldn't even get half of that, but because people are anti-war. Cheney's tweet came after Paul swiped at the top House Republican earlier in the day, saying Trump hears all your never Trump warmongering. He likened Cheney's views to former National Security Advisor John Bolton, who Trump ousted earlier this week amid disagreements. We all see your pro-Bolton blather. I'm just grateful for a president who, unlike you, supports stopping these endless wars, Paul tweeted. Paul doubled down on his attack in an interview with CNN on Wednesday, claiming that Liz Cheney and her father, former Vice President Dick Cheney, hate President Trump's foreign policy. They want to stay in Afghanistan forever. They're apologizing for John Bolton. They love John Bolton. Really, they're part of the foreign policy swamp that has been trying to undermine President Trump, he said. The Twitter feud appears to begin Wednesday when Paul tweeted an op-ed written by Wyoming state legislators calling on Cheney to stop publicly criticizing a Republican commander-in-chief and seemingly pushing the U.S. toward yet another endless war in the Middle East. The op-ed was published by the Washington Examiner last week. I agree. Why do some neocons continue to advocate for endless wars? I stand with Trump on ending wars. Let's focus on America first, not Afghanistan. Cheney hit back, saying she stands with Trump and first responders, while Paul seems to have forgotten that today is 9/11. Okay, so obviously I'm more on Paul's side because I'm anti-war, but there's a thing that his father does as well, and this is kind of like something I've noticed with libertarians. This includes Thomas Massey, the Republican congressman who I've said before is the only member of the Republicans in the House I actually like because he consistently votes against our interventions in the various wars that we're in. Trump is not anti-war. You don't bomb 7 countries for 2 years and and get to be called anti-war. In addition to vetoing a resolution passed in the House and Senate that would get the U.S. out of Yemen. You don't do that and then get to be claimed as someone that is seeking to end these dangerous foreign conflicts. And I hate that they have to keep saying that because they can't. So Mike Gravel, the former senator who ran for president, he said that most politicians are cowards, and this is pretty cowardly. You have to take a pro-war president who, at times, has kind of shown a little bit of anti-war stuff, like with North Korea, and to an extent Venezuela, even though we're sanctioning the hell out of them and people are starving as a result of our involvement. But instead of just calling them out and saying, look, if the president supports not getting out of these conflicts with some news stuff on his end, I'll back him. They have to pretend, oh yeah, he supports stopping endless wars as he's been in office for almost 1,000 days and continued all 7 of them. Yeah. and then goofy Cheney up here. I guarantee you that I'm willing to bet my left foot that this lady will never run for president. It's not because she doesn't think she doesn't want the job. It's because, I mean, there was an article that came out earlier this week about how she doesn't know if she wants to run for senator, or I believe it was senator, or to stay in Congress to hopefully one day become, hopefully for on her end, become the first Republican female Speaker of the House. And this is someone who easily is power hungry, right? Which is what a lot of politicians are. And you will never see her run for president because she knows that going around telling people that conflicts like Afghanistan, which from what I remember had a 13% approval rating, are worth staying in doesn't resonate with anyone. Paul didn't lose that race because people are so uh, pro war. It's because there was a charismatic businessman who was able to trick, or in some, if, from what some people believe, actually resonates due to his convictions and whatnot. So that was the real reason it happened. It had nothing to do with Paul's international views. Those helped him, if anything else. Because I told you in the Republican primary, what they do is they try to get you up with this thing of, oh, I stand for liberty, and the Democrats are going to raise your taxes, and they want to kill babies, and all this other nonsense. And they purposely leave out talking about international issues because they know if they ran on, hey, vote for me and we'll bomb this country that you can't even find on the map, nobody would support them. Well, except for maybe the defense contractors, which give money to their campaigns. But that's a purposeful thing they do. They highlight certain stuff and keep the rest of it out because they don't want you to see their trash. So, Paul is, I said before, someone I agree with international issues. I just wish he would stop placating to the GOP and just admit that, you're one of the few Republicans who actually is for getting out of these conflicts. Out of all those Republicans in both chambers, we only had about, 25 of them vote to get out of Yemen, 7 in the Senate, and 18 in the House. It's ridiculous. But that tells you that most of them are like Cheney. They just want to stay in these conflicts forever. But anyway, he's in the right. Other than trying to claim a president who's bombed 7 countries for 2 years is anti-war. That is literally Twilight Zone rhetoric right there.